put this all in place. Vision and dream of His Royal Highness, the late Oba Oseijeman Adefunmi I, first king and founder of the Oyotunji African village, was of an African town-state in America.
I have the distinct honor to be His Royal Highness Oba Oseijeman Adefunmi I, King of Oyotunji. Oyotunji was founded in 1970 by myself and one wife at the time, who were in search of a site for the establishment of Yoruba culture here in the United States. The purpose, of course, of Oyotunji since that time has become manifold. It has become a tourist attraction. It has also become a center of learning for various individuals who are interested in the anthropological background of Yoruba culture, for Afro-Americans in search of their origins and their traditions, and of course as a place for initiation into the Yoruba religion.
With the establishment of Oyotunji in 1970, this dream was partially realized. Oyotunji has been in existence now for more than 35 years, and it has served as a cultural learning institution for those of African ancestry, as well as others who seek knowledge of African culture, customs, and traditions. Oyotunji's prime period of development, the 70s and mid-80s, saw the arrival of many persons who were excited at the prospect of having a place where the culture and tradition of African people were avidly preserved. The population was large. Temples, shrines, and monuments to the ancestors and gods of African culture were erected with fervor. A museum, library, school, and an African market were built. There was also the establishment of an African parliament, priest council, militia, men and women's society. Monthly festivals in honor of the many ancestors and gods of Yoruba culture were also instituted.
For more answers, back to Oyotunji, the Yoruba African village.
While a few enterprising souls have chosen to bring Africa to them.
King Oseijeman Adefunmi says the lives of Afro-Americans should be patterned more like the lives of their ancient predecessors, or the lives of people here at the Oyo in Sheldon, South Carolina. Clay Johnson, News 4 Nightcast.
It's called Oyotunji. It was built by voodoo practitioners in the 1970s as a community where African Americans could go to rediscover their roots.
Oyotunji's name was on the lips of many. Publications and magazines spread the works of this small village located in the low country of South Carolina. Appearances on television and participation in several films brought about the fame and notoriety for Oyotunji and its residents. That was then, and this is now. The decline in population in the late 80s left all the same societies and institutions with fewer people to manage them. And yet, inasmuch as we had established all these institutions and societies, we could not abandon them. We were not ready to send our children to be educated outside of their communities. We were not prepared to give up the monthly and annual celebrations to our ancestors and deities. Oyotunji is a responsibility given to us by the ancestors. We said we wanted African culture in America. We said we wanted the customs and traditions of our ancestors. We said we wanted a village, town, and nation for African people born here in America. A place where monuments to their ancestral heritage were preserved. A place of pride for them that would instill self-esteem and self-worth. We asked the ancestors to come, and they came. The work of Oyetunji is not done. The work of the ancestors is not done. Oyetunji is 36 years old, but it has not yet grown and seasoned itself. It needs the help of all those who shared with the Oba Oseijeman the vision of an African town in America.
The Yoruba religion we learned from the Afro-Cubans back in 1959 during a initiation ceremony which took place in Matanzas. After that, we brought the gods back to the United States and thereby began the development and the spread of Orisha voodoo religion here in America. The Egungun festival is the festival of the worship of the ancestors of one's family. Traditionally, when a person dies in an African family, approximately 7 to 9 days after his death, an Egungun, that is a masked dancer representing the deceased, returns to the family compound and there makes his last wishes known, places his blessings upon his descendants and those who survive him. This Egungun, as this dancer is called, is accompanied usually by drummers and dancers. At that moment, then, there is a great festival of dancing and chanting, and then the Egungun returns to the forest. After that, a shrine is usually established somewhere in the family compound, and a regular system of worship follows. During that annual festival, of course, there may be scores of Egungun who are brought out by various families. The deceased has now been resurrected in the kingdom of the dead, or Ijoba Egungun. This resurrection then may take strange forms. The form or the image which a family thinks of their ancestor is going to be projected. Sometimes it's likely to be rather surrealistic, and that the ancestor's power may be exhibited in the form of some figure or animal or some fabulous creature. On the other hand, the family may decide to try to resurrect and depict the ancestor as they were in life, and hence, of course, the attire, which is usual traditional attire. And the reason for the masquerade is that there is also a dancer inside. There's a person from the Egungun society. Often this person is in a trance. And while obviously it is not the ghost of the ancestor, they are possessed with the ghost of the ancestor. And they are dressed to represent or in the ancestor's clothes.
The pledge process, hopefully getting back up here for the Warriors Festival. I Can Conjure is the men's society for